want to thank me.
To all the young people out there.
I'm here because of you.
How do I get rich?
You're going to suffer the difficulty of being invisible.
400 trillion to
I'm this one, ain't nobody.
But it's more important to be nice.
No, you should be capable of it.
Until I started winning.
Cause on a mission, your worst enemy is Idletime.
All right. Idletime podcast. We're back with El Nino Oro himself, the golden child, Wolf West Coast, Triple C. It's about the third time we met, but now we sit down and do a podcast. So I appreciate you having me here at your home. So normally I appreciate people coming to my house, but we're here all the way in AZ from San Diego. Let's talk about it. We're going to talk about a little bit of everything. We're going to talk about career. We're going to talk about his personal life. Talking about what's coming up next. Talking about anything we can get into. Nothing too strict, but just trying to have fun here. So the first thing I want to know, what everybody would want to know who doesn't know you, is who the hell is Triple C? Who is Henry Cejudo? We all know you as a champion, but the people who are watching for the first time, how would you break down in a quick verbal Wikipedia version of yourself? Who's Triple C?
Triple C is a competitor. It's somebody that is willing to take it to as far as he could take it. Even with my persona, even taunting people. Fuck you, da-da-da. I'm going to knock you out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I am somebody that loves to win, bro. Like, more than the actual fight. Like, to me, it's about winning. You know, so am I the best fighter? No. Was I ever the best wrestler? No, but I've always felt like that I've always been the better competitor. You know what I'm saying? So that's the real Triple C.
So what I just
cringy
heard,
too, though, a little bit. So you want to slide in a little bit of that cringe.
Teach his own. I can agree with a slight cringy, but if you get paid for it, then it's not. Like, then who gives a fuck? If it draws more pay per view, be cringe all you want.
Yeah.
Right? People talk shit about with that Tekashi 6ix9ine kid. I'd put a 6ix9ine on my forehead right now and get rainbow hair if you gave me $10 million for it. I've done worse for less. So it doesn't make a difference. But humility is showing, because I do remember young Triple C saying he's the best combat sports athlete of all time. And then right now you're saying I'm not the best fighter, I'm just competitive. So when did that transition start happening in your brain where you kind of just, you know what, I'm not the best ever, but I'm the best at this?
Yeah, and then it all goes back to competition. It all goes back to the greatest combat athlete of all time. It's like just accolades, you know what I'm saying? The accolades, like, I wasn't. Everybody wished they were finesse like Johnny Jones.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, having different gifts, but just finding a way to win. So my goal started with that, man. First of all, I started off with wrestling. I wanted to become the best in the world, dude. Like, I wanted to watching the Olympics in '96. No, but it started as a dream, watching the Olympics through the '96. Watch Michael Johnson. I don't know how old you are, but Michael Johnson shattered the world record at that time in the 400.
It was the three. It was Michael Jackson, Mike Tyson, Michael Johnson, and Michael Jordan. It was at that time. It was like a 5-year round where all the Michaels were killing everything.
That name went popular because of these dudes. Fuck, that's right.
100%.
So anyway, so it started there, dude. And I think me growing up as growing up in a Mexican household, bro, like, we're brought up watching boxing. So I remember watching like the early '90s of De La Hoya, Trinidad, De La Hoya, Chavez, Barrera, Morales. Like, we're pretty as a family. We're like, even my mom, like, we're all in it.
Yeah.
Like, watching it. And we ain't have shit to eat, but somehow we're getting pay-per-views, dude. You know?
Some way. But boxing is great. So what made you, I guess being a wrestler and getting into boxing, MMA is right up your alley. Yeah. But do you ever look at the money boxers make and tell yourself maybe you should have stuck with just boxing?
Nah. I mean, if I would have started earlier, probably. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that sport is too vicious, man. We were just talking about it earlier, how it's from your lower waist all the way up to your head, dude. The reason why it's more competitive, people think MMA is boxing, bro, dude, with professionals that know how to hit. Two on top of that, whoo. And then the padding of the glove, and then just the repetitive work. Well, no, not really. I think just for your health. Like, even the WWE, I would rather do what I'm doing now. Like, the WWE also makes me kind of cringe. Like, I'll do like a one-off.
Yeah.
But hell no, I ain't jumping off that crazy shit for, and then getting addicted to pills.
You had an appearance, right? Like AEW or some shit like that. So that's good shit.
Uncle Mike, did you see that?
Yeah. So I was growing up. So our era. Stone Cold era, the fucking Rock era, and all that shit. I was a huge fan. I haven't watched it the same way. These days, as you get older, for me, it trickled down.
It's too much.
I can watch the return episodes when the OGs come back for me, but I was huge into that. But yeah, WWE's a whole other monster itself. They put their body at risk at a whole different level. Like you said, the pills, you're gonna be on something. It's different pain level. But so Triple C is a competitor, right? Triple C grew up originally in LA, right? And then you guys moved to New Mexico?
Yeah.
Tell us about that. Was you think it was the best thing for you? Was it one of those things?
Honestly, bro, it's just life, dude. We just to make ends meet. At that time, I was born in South Central LA,
Mm-hmm.
and at that time, my dad wasn't doing good, man. He was just fucking becoming too abusive. And my mom, and she decided to like leave him, like legit. And there was 6 of us, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like my family's a very traditional Mexican family. Like they're like, 6, that ain't shit.
So he was a machista, and
Probably
drinking.
Yeah, drinking. You know, so we left. So I lived in New Mexico for a little bit. Started school there in Las Cruces, New Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
and then I moved to Phoenix, Arizona. And then I started wrestling when I was 11, 12 years old in 5th grade. And then I kind of fell in love with that whole with that whole sport, and that kind of led me back into watching like the old school guys. I don't know how far back you go in MMA.
I'm an avid fan.
Okay,
Yeah,
like Mark Kerr,
yeah,
Mark Coleman, like those fights.
Ken Shamrock.
Yeah, and then Ken Shamrock. Yep. And then all was just like, hey, fuck, dude, like this is cool. This is eye candy.
It was street fighting legalized.
And then they were getting trophies, they were being recognized.
Mm-hmm.
And then now that you're older, you're like, all right, it's a sense of fucking ego.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
So when you first started thinking about getting into it, were you worried about like the loss? Right. I know a lot of people. I sponsor a lot of early fighters, and a lot of times I notice they're so worried about their amateur losses and shit.
Yeah.
And I've had different fighters give them different advice. But what would you give advice to like an amateur fighter about to turn pro, or a guy about to get into amateur on his career? What would you say to these kids?
Let your base be wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to really make it in this sport, in this game, from Ilya Taporia to Marab right now, just current champs right now, but 85% of all fighters come from wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's just the most competitive and toughest sport in the world, dude. And I think do that, and then also take your time, dude. Like, don't be a dumbass. Just because you want to hurt somebody, this doesn't mean it's going to happen. Like, really take your time with the sport. Like, learn the actual arts and the biomechanics before you start the fucking hard sparring, and then boom, and the next you know you're probably not gonna like it no more.
There we go. Fall in love with this sport first. I actually just had a conversation with the mother of my child yesterday because my son went to his wrestling class,
Mm-hmm.
and she was like, "Yo, so what's the difference of this class and the other class?" Well, the last class was jiu-jitsu. This one is wrestling. I was like, then you got the Muay Thai. And she was like, well, which one's more important?
You got your kids on all that.
Yeah, he's doing his thing, right? And she's like, what's the most important one? And I told her wrestling. I was like, 100% wrestling. You have wrestling, you can get away with almost everything.
Yeah.
I was like, if you look at some of the people, the Ben Askren's of the world, all that, you can wrestle.
Yeah.
I was like,
he doesn't know how to throw a punch, but he could win it.
He's winning. He's winning. He's going on winning streaks.
Yeah.
Without throwing 10 punches in the fucking fight.
I think people think I'm crazy when I say this, but I think in his prime, when Ben Askren beat Krvashnikov from fucking Bellator, he beat GSP. Just because
Wrestling?
in the actual fight, because of the grappling. Like when he was on something. You know what I'm saying? He was a little. I know a lot of you guys are probably like, huh? But no, he was that good, bro. Krvashnikov did not even land a single punch, and that dude was one of the top dudes in the world, dude.
That's a dangerous take. Ben Askren takes down GSP. But at the same time, who better to know but somebody who's been a veteran in the sport, right? It's part of my podcast. It's Idletime podcast, but what the fuck do I know? Because there's a lot of topics we go into, and I always tell people, man, what the fuck do I know? Because a lot of times you, as a fighter, you have to deal with people on the outside giving you all these fucking opinions about shit they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. And I tell people, I'm not a novice, but until I'm actually in there competing at the level, I try to keep my opinion out of it to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But Ben Askren, I mean, he was something special. Honestly, the Moscow thing, I wish it didn't happen because I would still love to see what he was going to do. It kind of just ruined his whole career. but he was on the tear.
Yeah, that
He was on the fucking tear. That one shot changed Masvidal's life, changed Ben Ashton's life. So, and I'm happy with Masvidal. Like, he made the most out of it.
He did.
He made the fucking most out of it. Got two titles, two shots at the chip. Failed, but at the end of the day, and against your boy, Mr. Usman. So speaking of that, how's that podcast going? How the hell did that come to happen in the first place? And right now, obviously, it's catching traction. Really, really good. I watch the shit, and I don't watch a lot of anything.
Yeah, it's pretty good, right? You like it?
Yeah, I mean, you guys are real. That's the biggest thing I like.
Yeah.
It's real. So, and I think it's cool to see Usman outside of the fucking diamond necklaces and the sunglasses, and actually see him sit there talking. You guys don't agree all the time. That's the shit that makes it real.
Yeah.
When you guys are actually not in agreement, when you're making fun of him and your boy Adesanya, when you're talking all that shit is fucking funny as hell. So that's the shit I like to see about that, because we've seen your personality, whether it's real or not. The world has seen your personality for a decade, but Adesanya, we've seen him whoop people's ass and wrestle. We haven't really got to see him candid. That's about as close as candid as anybody that doesn't know him has seen him. Yeah. So for me, that was cool to see one of the former GOATs to me actually just be in his own realm. But how did that come to happen?
Yeah, no, actually Kamaru asked me, dude, which I was just like, I wouldn't do a podcast with a lot of people, man. Like, I really wouldn't, man. Even though I did. But with Kamaru, no. But at that time, like, no, my social media is kicking off. Like, I make a really good living off of it.
As you fucking should.
And Kamaru just, he hit me up, dude. I think part of it too. I did 2 seasons with Mike Tyson, bro. Like, when me and Mike Tyson were doing it, dude, we just built this chemistry. I think Kamaru kind of saw a little bit of that. I was like, you know what? And plus, we're good friends. Yeah. And he was like, Henry's a good talker. He knows how to communicate. So it's, we're kicking off too, man. Like this show, we're gonna be interviewing Tom Brady, like the biggest names in sports, dude. You know what I'm saying? Potentially, some of the people that you guys probably wouldn't believe, but yeah, like we have a really good team, dude. And it's actually part of Tom Brady's company. So we're with this company called Shadowline, and which Tom Brady's part owner.
Good shit. Yeah. Yeah. Once you start going to that route, you guys are taking it to something more than maybe I would say you guys thought it would take off to, or you already expected to get to that point?
No, we expected it, bro, because, man, I mean, if you want to do things right, man, you gotta spend a little bit of that dough, and then people have to give their time.
100%. Shit, I'm here.
Yeah, and people have to give their time, dude. I think we've had Mike Tyson live, Shaq, Dana White, bro, at his office.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Guys had boxers.
We with all our relations, De La Hoya, which was to me was super cool, man. Growing up watching it.
Yeah, he's my favorite boxer.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, 100%. I fucking love
Crawford, bro.
I love fucking De La Hoya. He was, I think, travesty De La Hoya, because everybody sees him as a promoter now. The young kids, the teenagers get into boxing. People don't really understand how dominant De La Hoya was. Like, De La Hoya was a problem.
He's one of the GOATs.
He to me he is, right? And it's like, oh well, Dana destroys him. So, if you're a UFC fan and you're trying to figure out what De La Hoya is, well, Dana's only going to say he's a coked out drunk dude. And it's like, maybe or maybe not, but put him in the ring, De La Hoya was the guy.
You watch Clackback Thursdays from Oscar?
No.
Oh, dude, you gotta watch it, dude.
No, that was my guy. So when you said earlier, growing up watching De La Hoya, he got me into boxing more than anything. Outside of Iron Mike, obviously. Iron Mike was Shane Mosley was great, but I wasn't a fan the way I was a De La Hoya fan. Yeah. I grew up in San Ysidro, so I don't know if you know where that's at. So it's puro Mexicanos. Yeah. So I grew up one exit away from the U.S.-Mexico border. Oh. So speaking of that, Mexicanos, we can get into the whole politics and all that shit. But you have a rap for not being a real Mexican. Where does that come from? People are always like, oh, he's not a real Mexican, and this isn't that, and blah, 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 blah. Rob was more Mexican than you, and all that. And I'm kind of like, I grew up around, like L.A., it's all Mexicans, don't speak Spanish, never been to Mexico. So I've seen it.
This is good.
Yeah, I've seen it. So, but when it comes to you, so what's that about, man?
Man,
I'm yo soy mexicano. Like, mi hijo es mexicano. Yeah. So I grew up on Mexicans, and
but no, I'm gonna explain to you.
Talk to us.
I'm gonna explain to you that you're really gonna understand it. And you're really gonna like my perspective on it.
Let's do it.
Because Man, I love this country. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though we came to this country, both my parents came to this country, maybe not the most political way.
Yeah.
And they sacrificed their life, dude, as to give us a better life. And when I was born, bro, like, that's what my mom preached, bro. Even though at times when we couldn't fucking eat or we have shit in the fridge or something, it's like, hey, man, you guys are American, dude. Let me take you to Mexico. You know, you fucking spoiled brats.
100%.
And another thing too, it's just out of respect for me. Like, dude, like recently I've been doing a Spanish podcast with Calvin, and the people could tell it's just like when you have an actual Mexican, you do an interview with them, like, oh shit, this dude's spitting out fire. But when it's a Mexican American, like you get Miss Universe answers.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
PC.
So to me, it's more of a respect to the people. You know what I'm saying? And also an honor for me being born in this beautiful country, which. You want to stop racism. The only way you stop racism is you can't pinpoint, oh, he's Jamaican, oh, he's Puerto Rican, oh, he's African, oh, he's from Nigeria. When you're in America, bro, America's the world. And I feel like that's what you should preach and that's what people should believe. You know, like even now.
I've defended you in this. I wasn't going to say it earlier, I was going to give you an answer, but I've defended you in this. I've had people, you know, they find out we do a podcast or one time you do a shout out. People are like, well, what do you think, what do you think like the Mexican thing? I'm like, first of all, the problem is a lot of people think in absolutes. If I like Kobe, I must hate LeBron. Or if I like Jordan, it's like, because he loves USA and reps USA does not make him anti-Mexico. He's just pro-USA as his first thing he's coming because he lives here. But it's the same thing. Devil's advocate, if you were to walk around and saying, oh, it's about Mexico, who are you? People would be like, well, then go back. You're raised here. Why don't you appreciate America? You're raised here all your life in American money. So no matter what you did, somebody's going to complain regardless. But you know, a lot of people give you a hard time for that.
No, of course, but it's what it is, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's what it is. And I'm cool with it, man. If anything, like the people who really understand freedom and not trying to go the racist route, the prejudice route. It's like, no, you're an American, like, and again, to me, it's just a respect for the people too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you, oh yeah, I'm Mexican. Oh yeah, tell me all the shows and everything that you've watched growing up. If you don't have that culture, like down there, it's different, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We grew up fucking watching Full House.
Yeah. We grew up watching No-No and all that other shit. But yeah, it's different. So it's different culture. It's not a lack of being who you were.
No, and
that, but your culture is American culture.
Oh, I love my fucking Mexican heritage, bro. Like, I'm gonna retire in Mexico. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe then when I really
look at me, look at the camera. That one. That's the one for the camera.
Yeah, I'm gonna retire there, bro. I love going to Playa del Carmen, Tulum. I love the fucking Riviera, bro. Like I used to do. When I was single, bro, I used to go like 4 or 5 times just to kick it and chill and eat and hang out with the people. So it's a respect more out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think there's just a bigger message. But even now, dude, like look at what's going on with this whole Trump thing. And these dudes are waving like Mexican flags. Wouldn't it be better if they were holding up American flags while being 100%. Of different color and shit like that? I was like, because then they're gonna say what you just said. Then go back.
Yeah.
Then go back.
So if you're holding up a Mexican flag to protest sending people back to Mexico, so if the argument you're giving the opposition the easiest argument in the world is if you're so Mexico, then you shouldn't mind if we send you to Mexico. But the problem is you let the people that have. They're not actually being political. They're actually just racist. There are people like that are out there. And then there are people who are like, hey, like, we understand you're here.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like for me, when it comes to the Mexico situation.
Can I have one?
Yeah. For me, with the Mexico situation right now, with the whole deportation thing is, hey, I don't care how you got over. Yeah. It's just, hey, if you get caught, you know, you're going to have to go. But the crazy thing is, most immigrants aren't the mad ones. They understood, like, hey, okay, I got caught, I got to go. Yeah. And it's like, hey, if you can make it back over, legal or illegal, I'm happy for you. But you got caught, you know, it's shit. They got you.
Yeah.
And it sucks that they got you, but they got you. The Selena Gomez shit, crying on that shit pissed me the fuck off. That was a waste of time. I wish I could help. You're worth almost $1 billion. You could. You know, they're coming over here. Think about it. They're coming over here for opportunity. Selena sent $20 million to Mexico and make a Selena Gomez purse company. Even if you don't profit, hire all those families that are coming. They're only here for opportunity. We'll give them that in Mexico, and trust me, they don't want to be here. They don't want to be here more than they want to be home. They want to come here for the opportunity.
Yes.
You're worth $1 billion. send them some fucking money and see what happens. But you
worth
won't.
$1 billion, yeah, of course, yeah. But talk is cheap.
Exactly.
You know
worth $1 billion. Pay $50 million for a bunch of lawyers. You'll get them all over here legally. You'll get in here over illegally with $50 million worth of lawyers.
Don't even get me started,
no more.
bro.
Kim Kardashian got 18 people out of prison with her money and her influence. Selena Gomez, you're the third most popular person in the world on Instagram. And crying, your crying probably helped start these fucking riots. Because nobody was riding.
Bro. Hell yeah.
That shit is honestly irked the fuck out of me. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Like it's stupid. Like I grew up with all Mexicans. Half my friends in high school. My high school was, if you look it up, San Ysidro High School. I would say at least a third of the kids that go to my high school are illegal.
Yeah.
And we used to go to parties, and after, we go to parties, they would leave early because cops show up, they can't be seen by the cops. I've grown up watching them come out of the bushes, muddy, literally running through with family deeps with La Migras, trucking chasing, Border Patrol chasing them. Border Patrol asked us what way they went left. We tell them they went right because it was always like that.
And now check this out. If you really also want to be an American, then dude, marry an American.
There's ways.
Like there's ways, bro. Like there's ways. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Like it's anyways, bro. So people are
every version of
the reason why people are like that with me, and it's cool, but I've accepted it. I even decided to do a Spanish podcast to give back. That's just the way they fucking think, and they're not going to come out of it.
Somehow you're pretty much culture appropriation. Oh, now you're trying to be Mexican. That's pretty much where they're going to try to hate you.
Yeah, I'm like, no, dude. Like I love fucking dude. My Spanish is fucking great. It's fucking nearly fucking perfect too. Yeah. So it's not like I'm a.
You can tell. You can tell in movies when there's a Spanish speaker and they're speaking Spanish. You can hear it and like, oh, okay, so that person doesn't speak no fucking Spanish. They're playing the fucking game. But no, I mean, to me, I see you. It was Mexico all day. But again, I grew up with Mexican Americans a lot that understood both cultures.
Yeah. And
a lot of people right now, oh my God, I can't believe so many Mexican men voted for Trump and all that. I'm like, well, you have to think. Most Mexican men that are actually working are high middle class or upper middle class. And I was like, so why wouldn't they not vote for, at that point, if you really want to go based on, if they're voting for what's best for their culture, they're voting based on thinking first. A lot of people voted based on feelings.
Yeah, but it's also
he's racist. Every president's been racist. All fucking 45 of them been racist. Half of them own plantations. What are we talking about right now? Well, because he said some shit out loud, and I'm like, okay, he probably shouldn't say certain things out loud, but he didn't say nothing more than any other president thought. Yeah. And so again, I tell people like, I'm black. It's my vote. And one, if it's between him and the fucking opposition, there's no way you vote for a man that couldn't finish a paragraph. I don't give a fuck what we're talking about at that point. How do you vote for leadership at that time was Biden, who couldn't finish a paragraph? Maybe if it was Biden was better. I don't vote based on Republican or Democrat. It's based on who's the lesser of two evils. And to me, it was obvious. And you got invited to the inauguration, right?
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, no,
how was that?
No, I couldn't go.
You couldn't go?
I couldn't go.
You're a cat?
I opened for Eric Trump and then President Trump, dude. That's like it was an honor for me.
You did open. You did the speech thing. I saw that. Yeah. They had commented somewhere on that.
Yeah, but then not just that, but then fucking Trump calls me on stage. He's like, talk.
Yeah. How was that? How was that moment for you as a person who's took on America and like, hey, this is my country and I love this place, to be able to talk for a former and most likely coming up sitting president, pulls you on stage and gives you the mic?
Just fucking honored, bro. Honored, even though he butchered my name a little.
Yeah, but just, that's kind of love. That's why white people gotta butcher names. I'll take it.
Yeah, but he's dude. He's I've read all his books. So I was already a fan prior to that. The Apprentice. Like I watched a lot of that stuff. Like, in high school I got into real estate because Trump was kind of like a big fucking influence.
Black people still love Trump too.
Yeah.
Trump was the man. Trump was on, Fresh Prince. He was on all kinds of different black television shows. Trump will always make an appearance. Everybody fucking Trump. Yeah. So like people forget these days. They forget some shit. Right?
But okay. So if you want to get into politics, you know why that is, right? It's because the real rich are trying to go Democratic because their system is different. Than I guess there's levels of richness.
Wealthy and rich is different.
You know what I'm saying? The levels of real richness is somebody that wants to be a Democrat. You know what I'm saying? So anyhow, The majority. I mean, everything kind of revolves around money, bro. And in our schools, bro, our schools are fucking brainwashing these kids, bro. Like I'm looking back too as a kid, I'm like, I'm kind of glad I didn't fucking pay attention.
Nah, to be honest, it's nuts. Me and my mother and my child, we talk about the shit, and we're like, we're just gonna have to do our part we're gonna have to negate some of the shit he's learning, and then the rest, just kind of pay attention, because at this point, it's kind of a shit show. And I told people it's a shit show, but hey, 4 more years, either it's gonna be the same or he's gonna make things better. And right now, I think he's trending towards better. People don't like to hear that because I'm black. I'm supposed to just not like him. I guess that's how it's supposed to work. I'm like, no, I'm not an idiot. I have my own opinion.
Yeah.
And at this point, you know, I'm gonna give him a full chance. Something has to work, because the last 4 years I didn't fucking care for either.
Yeah.
So politics is it's all a game, and you can't control anything. You control what you can't control. Anything other than that, you'll fucking drive yourself nuts.
Yeah.
And I'm not really big into driving myself nuts. But have you fought in front of Trump yet?
No, that would be cool as hell, dude. Obviously, you'd have to win, because fuck, I would hate to live fucking Trump, dude.
See, I think that'd be the catalyst for you. I think it'd be one of those things you see in the movie where, like, they slow it down and they realize who's in the crowd and they get this extra Rocky motivation. I don't there's no way you lose in front of
hell no. And like, even John Jones was like, dude, that's one of like the most precious things, dude, of all my mixed martial arts career, dude.
Yeah.
Or like, it's special.
Any sitting president, fuck, Trump is one thing. If you're a fan, great, but being able to compete in front of a sitting president, that's fucking legendary shit.
Yeah, I fought in front of Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson watching me get that win with Demetrius Johnson. That shit.
Good shit. Oh my god,
Then we became friends, bro. We became friends because he watched me fight and he saw my fight. I was like, hey, let's get him on podcast.
And that was a career-changing fight.
Yeah.
Mighty Mouse still, to me, if he was 6'2", the world would be different. The world would be different if Mighty Mouse was 6'2". Like, it is what it is.
Yeah,
everybody's lucky that he is you guys' size. Yeah. Speaking of size, I always ask fighters this.
He's shorter than me, bro.
Yeah, he is. I always ask fighters this, right? Because physics is a thing. Obviously, you probably walk around, 150, 155?
Around there.
Around there. Yeah. You fight at 125, 135, right? 135, yeah. What do you feel about those guys that, whether it's internet guys, bodybuilder guys that just feel like because they're bigger, they can take on trained young little dudes?
Yeah.
Now I can give you my take on it, but there's levels to it. I told Bobby Green the same thing. 155 or doesn't mean of course somebody 155 trained can beat up anybody 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah.
But let's not make a mistake. I'm 6'2", 250. I'll fuck a lot of you little dudes up. Again, it's the difference. I can still slam you in your neck before you slam me on mine, right? Yeah. And again, out of 10 times, I'm gonna get my ass whooped. I'm understood. At 10 times, I'm going down 8 out of 10.
You gotta go for broke.
Yeah, 8 out of 10, maybe 9 out of 10.
But it is dangerous. I mean,
but physics is a thing.
Yeah.
Physics is a thing.
Hell yeah, it is.
If I hit anybody 125, they're gonna see 2 of me, right? If I catch you flush. But training is training. I always respect training. It's because you're trained to do shit like that. But what's your take on that? Because you see big guys.
Yeah, no, we're kind of like knives, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta think of like 2 sharp knives, like rather than a fucking sword.
Mm-hmm.
If you know how to use those 2 knives, like they could be a lot more dangerous than that big ass sword. 'Cause that big ass sword is heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know how to fight, you're just fucking throwing it. You're missing, bro. Like your tank.
Yeah, for sure.
This is just like, all right, dude, keep going.
If you're a big muscle guy, all that missing, people don't realize missing takes more out of you than connecting. Yeah. And all that muscles, it'll fuck you up too. All that gym rat, sometimes it'll fuck you up.
Yeah, but if you do crack, good night. So it's I get it, bro.
Okay. So, I'm gonna add 1 or 2 more questions, then I'll go into our trick question segment with Gelato, and then we can wrap it up. So, one question is, what are your thoughts on going back down and possibly dominating that division? I would say there's about 3-4 people in that division that can still compete for sure, and I think my personal opinion is you can probably run through almost everybody except the top 3. You would have to work on that, the 2 Brandons and Pantosh. the only ones I think that they're at that point where I think they've caught up. But that's my opinion on the outside.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, no, I think, dude, listen, bro. Brandon and Pat told you I trained with both of them. I've sparred with both of them. I was close with both of them. But, I know how good they are. You know what I'm saying? They also know how good I am, too. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I was a little more experienced at that time as well. So I know the level that they've gone to. So, no, I respect the game, bro. Like, that's one thing that I will tell you. So they're good. They're good. But, yeah, there is a possibility that I'd potentially go down. Yeah. I like those fights. I'll fight my friends. Fuck it. There's a belt on the line. There's gold on the line.
If it makes sense.
Yeah, no, let's go, dude. Let's go.
And to be honest, it might be what the division needs because it keeps being the same rematches in that division for the last 4 years.
Crazy. Yeah,
they need new blood, and they try to put new blood in with the Asian kid, but that didn't really go well.
He got chopped up. He was chow mein.
Yeah, he was chow mein. There we go. My man's been on that chow mein shit all week. Hey, so your dog. Hey, good luck to you, big dog. Well, my man is talking reckless over here. You have to win at this fucking point. So, but one question before we get into the trick question is, I don't like talking about losses. Losses are like, who gives a fuck? You talk about the future. Yeah. That's for you to go and study.
I'm all about it.
It's for you to go study your losses. My thing is, I'm talking from 11 years old to now. What's that one fight that you would run back? Like that number one fight you would run her back. I'm talking wrestling, the Olympics, anything. What's that one bout, that one person that you're like, nah, this one still, like if I would do it for free to run it back. Like, who's that fight?
Fuck.
We're going back from South Central to New Mexico to wherever. There has to be that one.
Barab. Give me that motherfucker. He got me last. Yeah. Hell yeah. Give me him.
He's on the tear right now, so
he is. And I think that's the cool thing about it too. It's like, all right, man, he picked me up, he got me. Yeah. Like he beat me.
He's strong.
You know what I'm saying?
He's strong. The motherfucker didn't do that.
And
shit
you don't think it as a fighter, bro. You don't think he's like, what the fuck? Like really? Like this dude just crack his ass.
Yeah.
You know,
you cracked him.
I did crack him
for sure.
But he's got a chin, bro. He just.
Yeah, he's a machine. He's a machine, and right now he's on his tear. Everybody has that thing. I don't know why people still assume Umar won that. That's such a random thing I keep seeing.
Umar, I can tell you this about that fight. If it was just based on punishment, yeah, I probably would say. But the fight is not based like that. The fight is based on round per round. Yeah. So it was 3-2. 100%. If it was one, I'd be like, all right, man. Watch the fight as a whole. Be like, I would nod it to Umar.
It was 3-2. And the first round could have been Rob if you chose to. It was close, but
the third round was a swing round, bro. And when I watched it live, I thought Umar got that too. But then I rewatched it again, bro.
Yeah,
and I was like, man,
I watched it live, and I was like, "There's no fucking way."
Yeah, you know, but then watch it again.
There's crowd antics and all that shit that couldn't influence you.
Fuck, I mean, not for me. So I fight.
But yeah, you fight, so you know.
Yeah, no, I'm just like, no, I gotta see this, bro. So I gotta see who had a little more control time, but Mirage just happened to sell it, bro. There's theatrics.
Yeah, the standing up and playing the fucking games and all that.
Yeah, you gotta convince.
You look like you're embarrassing him. Once you did some shit to him, like embarrass him. If you can embarrass a man in a ring. How do you also say that other man won if you got embarrassed like that? It's tough. Now, again, I would let him run it back, but if he's going to run it back with anybody soon, he has to run it back with you. Or he has to fight his best friend. One of the two. I have to see him. Yeah. Because, who's Sandhagen? And Sandhagen's great, but right now, I think that'd be a waste of Marab's next title defense. If he wants to compete.
Yeah, they're going to give it to O'Malley. Like, it's some stupid shit. And O'Malley's probably going to not fight for a minute. And then, but he's not really a draw. He's like, look at pay-per-view numbers, dude. Like, that's how you... ask Aljamain and then look it up. Dude, they did like 250,000 buys, bro. When Aljamain and O'Malley's like, dude, okay, he's fighting in Boston.
Boston.
You gotta say he's a fucking draw. Like,
well, yeah, if you fought in Boston and that was the numbers, and that's bad. Because that would have been Boston or Arizona, like should have been his biggest, like some of the biggest draws he ever had. If you didn't draw in pretty much all white state,
yeah, but even like the Sphere sold itself, bro. Yeah, like he didn't have fucking anybody there.
100%.
And the tickets were out of this roof, dude.
100%. People, the Sphere was amazing.
And then I'm curious about to see what the Fierce number did, and then you'll see if a guy like that is like, that's what I'm saying, is like, is he really a draw? they know where the pay-per-view numbers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, that part is who better to fight him. Who's a better draw from Rob than Sugar Sean is the question. And
Yeah, I think the logical fight is Sanhagen and Marab. Like right now, let them get it on. Let's. He's already fought O'Malley.
and then Venue would have to be the next place.
Whatever, bro.
So.
Even though Sanhagen, he lost.
What's the next Arizona?
Yeah. Yeah, he lost against Umar. Even though he lost it, that dude has a style to beat him too.
Yeah, I mean he embarrassed Cheeto.
Yeah.
So, he embarrassed Cheeto, and Cheeto normally fights well. He picks up slow. He starts off slow, picks up, but Corey Sandhagen had his way.
Sometimes Cheeto forgets he's fighting, bro.
Yeah, I mean
Straight up.
Corey Sandhagen had his way with Cheeto, which nobody's ever done like that. And Umar was like a shock, like damn, okay, because Sandhagen was clear cut next up, and then Umar jumped the line by the performance. And again, it's not my business, but I don't really think Umar deserves a shot at the chip, not yet.
Umar?
Yeah, Umar.
I would rather see Umar than O'Malley.
So, well, if now winning it back because it was such a close fight, I don't think he earned it at that time. But there's a lot of politics.
Right. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I think Sanhagen, just so he can knock off another top 10 or do another top 5, he'd be like, all right, dude, this dude is just now he's just running through these dudes.
Yeah.
But I don't think you do a rematch because there's already a bunch of other contenders too, man.
Yeah. The division is getting to the point where it's starting to feel like a bunch of rematches, everything.
Yeah, you don't want that. That shit's boring, bro. Like
we
rematches are
watched
honestly
that
fucking
at
boring.
125, and I get it, Davidson, Figueroa, and Moreno, but literally the title match was the same four times in a row, the same two people.
Yeah.
That's such an awkward thing. 4 years in a row, and it's the same two people.
Yeah. It doesn't
and
go, bro.
It doesn't do anything for it. And now Pantoja at the point where it's literally going to run back the same. It's going to be one of the Brandons.
Here he fought him 4 times and beat him 4 times. Like, are you gonna do a 5th time? I guess that's the difference between the UFC and everybody else.
That's why Triple C needs to go ahead and take on Charmaine, win, and then go back down and then bring some spark to the division.
I like that. You're making me hungry about it.
I mean, who else can save it? Right now, the division is very the same old thing.
Yeah,
you come down, you bring the draw, you bring a spark,
so
you bring everything.
Let me ask you a question. Did you like the change of character, the King of Cringe?
King of Cringe?
Yeah.
It's you.
You can be honest.
It's you. I don't mind it because to me, you have it. It's who you've been. It's who you've been. You know, the chunky you in the backstage when O'Malley's doing his interview, doing that shit. That shit is low key cringy. The way O'Malley's looking at you like, the fuck. I look at it as you motherfuckers live 10 miles away from each other. Why you just go to a park and fight?
I'd love it too now.
That shit. Like, all right,
you absolutely suck.
And O'Malley hit you with are you even allowed to fight? And it's kind of like, you kind of pause like, don't worry about it. It's just fucking record. Just fucking, I'm talking shit here. So it's been your character, but you do it more of a respectful route than like a Kobe. Kobe does a cringe shit, but he gets to a route where he's gonna get like hurt, like really hurt, and